Welcome to our talk. Mugisha, the Director of Sexual Minorities in Uganda. Frank, we have been speaking the other day, and we were also talking about the big struggles that the Ugandan community faces at the moment. At the same time, you were also mentioning the problems that the community is facing in Uganda at the moment because of COVID-19. What can you tell us about it and what's going on at the moment down in Uganda?
Well, thank you so much. I'm happy to be hosted and I'm happy to be here. This is very good. And of course, we have a very good partnership with LSBTI, Sexual Minorities Uganda. So what is happening right now, ever since the new laws, we have new laws in Uganda for COVID-19. And so, first of all, the LGBT community has had to adjust in terms of many of my where they are not welcome, where they're not accepted, and where they can't be themselves, so for free and safe with their families. So that alone is causing a lot of mental health issues, but also isolation is causing a lot of trauma within the LGBT community, as many of my colleagues are staying home and staying on their own. They can't meet friends, and yet for us, we survived by depending on each other. But right now we don't have each other. So that is also creating a lot of mental problem issues and trauma. But the worst is that even as many of our LGBT community members tried to stay in one place and come together, again, they were arrested by the police. And we have some of our community members who have been in prison for over homophobia and transphobia. They have been in prison. There are people, there are some members who have even reported cases of where they have been they have been scapegoated, as saying that the LGBT community, because because of the devil and all that, we are causing COVID as well. So it's so much violation that we're seeing towards the LGBT community at this moment, but also prosecution. I think you are muted. I can't hear you.
I was just saying that the connection was a bit problematic, so I'm not sure if everyone could hear everything you were saying. So I'm going to try to repeat what the subject of your argument was. You were basically saying that the isolation and staying at home has been very problematic during COVID-19. At the same time, you are saying that a lot of the LGBTI community was forced or is forced to stay home alone, and you basically need to be together. And some of them, especially the young LGBTI members of the community that don't have a home and were staying in shelters and could not follow the social distancing rules that were implemented by the government, were now arrested and have been locked away for over a month, and you guys don't really know what to do at the moment about it to get them out. How is the situation of these young people at the moment, and what are you trying personally together with your organization to help them out?
So what we know now is that the lawyers were able to access and see them 2 days ago, and after the lawyers had to go to court and ask for a permission and also sue the prisons for refusing to allow to see them, and then they were allowed to see them. So they saw them, but the situation they are in is not very good at all. as most of them have gotten some illnesses because of staying in prison, like malaria and other bacterial infections because of being in jail. And of course, many of them are traumatized because this is the first time they've been arrested and have been in jail. And of course, many of them have not been in touch with their families or their friends, so that is affecting them as well. So mentally, they're not doing well, and also healthy ways, they're not doing well at all.
Now, next to COVID-19, there have been lots of problems in Uganda regarding the LGBTI community. The government is very oppressive. The government is always trying to oppress the community even further. There have been always, well, quite sometimes now requests for the death penalty to be implemented. What does that do with the LGBTI community, and how are you guys trying to fight the movement that has tried to oppress you over and over and over again, and you're really struggling over there?
Well, thank you. As you know, that the LGBT community in Uganda has been under attack so many times. You know, we have had we had actually a law in parliament that was asking for life in prison, and also a bill in parliament that was being discussed, which had the provision of the death penalty, and also which required to report every non-LGBT person to the authorities. But even when we fought the legislation and defeated it, still members of parliament and other Christians did not stop there. They tried so much to reintroduce it. Even up to now, after COVID, maybe we don't know if parliament won't come up to decide and bring a law. And also many times the Ugandan LGBT community is being scapegoated for whenever the government or the parliament wants to, to cover up something, the LGBT community is always being scapegoated. So we don't know if, again, during this COVID-19 pandemic, we want to get scapegoated for that. And we are a very minority group in Uganda, but almost every time we're facing problems. We can't, even before COVID, we could not organize anything. Last year, around this time, we tried to put up an event on, the police raided it, and at least no one was arrested. But when we tried to put up parade, we were arrested and tortured. I was in prison. And the police had all these insults and torture towards everyone who was arrested with me during that time.
That sounds horrible. We have been following the developments here quite regularly, and it is really distressing to see and to hear and the reports on what the community is going through. I remember this particular instance when you were all arrested because quite a few of the activists that were not involved were then streaming everything live or over social network into the world so that the world could know and could hear and could see what was going on. I remember Kasha, for example, one of the very well-known activists around the world from Uganda. She was very vivid about what was going on, and she was really trying to help together with many others on what was possible to do. And at the same time, we always ask ourselves here, of course, organizations help and support, and government organizations or government departments try to do their best also to help. I think that there is a good relationship with quite a lot of the Western embassies back in Uganda. But is there anything else that you think is necessary for all of us abroad to do in order to support you with this common fight that we have in basically implementing human rights and demanding the respect that our community deserves?
Well, thank you so much. Yes, there's so much the international community can help, especially our colleagues in Germany. I think what we're seeing right now ground, because right now there are so many needs. There's need for food. We have need for relief, because many of the LGBT persons, especially those that are staying alone, they have no food at this moment. Some they can't afford clean water. They can't afford pay their bills. They can't afford, because they are not working, and majority of the LGBT community was surviving on one day at a time. Our partners who are able to reach out to our government officials, to please reach out to them bilaterally and diplomatically. Don't ask for aid cards and all that at this moment. I think it would be dangerous. What I think is reach out bilaterally and diplomatically and engage them to show them that the LGBT community needs to be protected at this time, and it's very, very vulnerable as well. But also for any person who knows anyone in Uganda, who knows any LGBT person in Uganda, reach out to them and ask them how they are doing, what kind of support they want. And even not only in Uganda, but even in other places like Tanzania, Ethiopia, Russia, reaching out directly to the LGBT person right now is the most important, because some of them simply even want to talk to someone because of the isolation. People need to talk to a friendly voice and hear from someone who can give them that comfort and support during this pandemic.
Well, thank you very much, Frank. That has been a very good call that you just made, because I think it's important for all of us to help and support wherever we can. And we will link your organization's Facebook page then under the comments on Facebook, and we will do so with the other partner organizations that we were speaking to earlier, and with those that we are going to speak later on tonight, so that our viewers have the opportunity then to link themselves to the individual organizations and also follow the news that come from the individual countries and individual work that you all do. Frank, I think I can speak in the name of everyone watching, and especially in the name of our organization, the Lesbian and Gay Association in Germany, the LSBTI. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you do and for all the struggle that you go through for our people, your people back in Uganda. We don't know how to thank you. We know it's not easy. We can only imagine how hard it must be to live in an environment like that. And we find it amazing to see the power that you invest in order to support our community and our love. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. And send our regards to everyone in SMUG.
Before I go, there's a very important novel that is about my organization, which is in German, and it's called Kampala Hamburger, and it's written by Laz. And if people can access it, because it's in German, that would be very important. It can tell a very big story about my work. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support, everyone, and also thank to LSBD for all the support they give to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Frank. Take good care of yourself. Bye.
Thank you.